Welcome to this episode of Reconnective Talk. Today we have here with us Gabriele Bressem from Germany. Welcome, Gabriele. I'm very honored that you accepted my invitation.
Hello, Cristina. It's a pleasure to be here.
Gabriele Bressem is a medical laboratory assistant since 1984. She was manager of the laboratory of the University Women's Clinic, in the Blood Donation Center, in the Children's Clinic. She became a naturopath in 2000, opening her practice right after that. In 2005, she became Reconnective Healing and the Reconnection practitioner. Between 2007 and 2020, she was a member of the International Teaching and Instructors of the Reconnection. Dear Gabriele, you have experienced more than 15 years of daily practice of sessions with clients. It has been 11 years since you have founded the German Association. Please help us just to understand your view of this new era, the Reconnective Academy International and the work of Guillermo Poli and his team. You know how your work is an inspiration and reference to all of us. So are your words. What do you want to let us know?
Thank you so much, Cristina. I'm so honored of your words.
That's the truth.
You know me, and you know that I'm not a fan of these things.
How do you feel right now in this moment? You are not active as an instructor, but you were an instructor for many, many years. So you are a little bit stepping behind. And what is the feeling?
Absolutely right. I'm observing quietly here in Germany what's going on.
Yes.
And I still have, of course, contact with my friends in the team. And so I'm grateful to observe the expansion that's happening right now. What I'm seeing now is, I think many facets came together that Eric Pearl is not teaching any longer.
Yes.
And the importance is to continue this work. And I think, and what I know from how this all developed, that Guillermo Poli is now the person Eric Pearl and Gillian Freer trust with building that academy, because he is sort of now the chosen one, as much as Eric Pearl was that to bring this to the world 25 or something years ago, because we know our beloved Pat has already chosen him. And trained him into that role.
She knew it.
Yeah, she is guiding still. We know that too. But
yeah.
So now it's important that the work continues, and we understand that it was not about Eric Pearl specifically in the first place. It's about him being the one bringing it to the world. But he never wanted to be the guru or the one we all look up to. He was the one who could be it and show us. And now it's continuing, and that's what I'm grateful for. And it's a big task that Guillermo is taking on. I have to applaud him for that, because
it's a huge work.
It is.
I know you are working with Guillermo in a discreet way.
Right now, I feel it's becoming a great partnership, because we are standing on two kind of pillars, different ones, that we can combine and maybe become one great collaboration. Yeah.
I know you are collaborating with the One Experience live immersion happening soon in Switzerland.
Of Zurich.
Please let us know a little bit more of that. Do you know the dates?
Yes, it's the 23rd, 24th of October.
It's also in German. So
it is in German, exactly. And followed by the level 3, the RCPP, right after that. I also wanted to invite you and maybe the people listening on 4th of October, association in Germany, we usually had our annual Reconnective Healing Experience Day. And we started to do a virtual event where we also invite Eric and Gillian. And that's happening on
And it's online.
It's in Zoom, yes.
It will be in English and in German.
It will be simultaneous translation.
It's like a celebration. You are creating bridges, as you said.
I've done with the association here for many years that you mentioned already, is a community place, like where our practitioners have a place where they belong to.
It's a different thing from the Reconnective Talks.
Yeah, back in 2009, we realized we had huge training programs in Germany at 400 or 500 attendees every time. And back then, Eric Pearl was the only one teaching it with the help of a few long-time team members, but most of them were American. And I was there because I've lived for 4 years in the United States, and that's where I should say the other way, where Reconnective Healing found me.
Okay.
And I took my training programs there, and then when I was moved back to Germany in 2008, and then attended a 2009 program in Germany as a volunteer. I noticed that many people approached me with their questions. I also felt that I had some sort of understanding, or I could build that bridge between the two cultures also, because the American way of making a production and a seminar back then was like that. It was different. And they also had questions. The language barrier was a problem. So it was just a natural way of things to create a place for them where they can tend to and where we can share our experiences. It's a community effort.
You told about the benefits of a community after the one experience. Now I go a little step back and say, and what happens to a person that goes to an experience, to anchor, to live with the frequencies? And you might maybe speak about your first one in United States.
I mean, for me, it clearly was, first of all, sitting in that chair in 2005, the one short and sharp, important sentence Eric Pearl spoke for me, because as you know, for you, it was probably similar. There's always something that is spoken directly to you. And I was sitting because for me, it was such a new experience. English is not my first language. And, I was like, and then all of a sudden I heard that you are worthy simply because you were born. And I was in my chair. I was like such a deep realization. Finally, someone said what I thought would be the truth, what was resonating in me. But all the teachers I looked up before to, like when you are a child, it might be your parent, or it might be the priest in church, or whoever is telling you you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not whatever you are not. And so it started with these worthiness issues that were spoken directly to me, that we are able to receive, that we are part, what we are connecting to is the infinite, is you can call it whatever you want to call it. For me, it was God, that we are a part of God. For some, they call it source or the intelligence of the universe. Our audience will know what's the right word for them. But all these years were a discovery of, and I noticed that all the people who showed up were looking to find, let's say, the totality, the fullness of themselves. Experience the infinite is that part that makes us all the same or all one. Before we moved to the United States as a whole family, but the decision involved me having to sell my naturopathic practice. And that was a big, big step for me. Mm-hmm. I'm married to a medical doctor, and back then I already did training in Reiki. Okay. But being married to a medical doctor in 2000, whatever, 3, 4.
Reiki, it was a little difficult.
Right. It was only that I used it, let's say, for a patient where I thought, I asked them if they, want that in addition to all the other natural therapies I could offer them. But also, as much as I was always drawn to energy work, every evening when I used Reiki, I felt totally drained and tired in the evening. I could only go home and have dinner and sit on the couch. And now I know it was because I was giving kind of my energy or like sending energy.
You were sending, you were not receiving. Yeah.
And so coming back to the move to the United States, and we moved to Phoenix, Arizona. All the American people know what I'm talking about. It is in July. It is like hot. It's like, and you have to live with air conditioning. I kind of gave out to the universe, please show me what this is good for now. What am I supposed to be learning of this experience and stuff like that? I went to a bookstore, so I thought, okay, I have now time to read. And honestly, Cristina, book, The Reconnection, I passed that like spiritual area of shelves. And this book almost fell directly on my big toe. I picked it up.
Yeah.
I wanted to put it back because at the first sight, those two hands with the fingers somehow did not attract me at all. But when I wanted to put it back, I felt something, in a sense, the energy. So I bought it. I read it. It's an easy read, you would agree. Yeah. But it goes on so many levels, so deep, that I went on the internet, researched, and exactly 4 weeks later, there was a seminar coming up in Mesa, Arizona. So I went.
And all started. You didn't know what to expect, right?
I didn't know what to expect whatsoever. I've never attended a seminar with.
How was it?
It was already like we have it now. We share the reconnective experience on massage tables, how to find it and stuff like that. And I was like, here, I was so in the flow. And all the people stood up and told me something. I'm like, are they just making this up? And what I experienced when I was kind of the practitioner, the same, is like I experienced so many things beyond my 5 regular senses, like smelling my grandfather's cigarettes, hearing music. At the same time, I noticed that I did not send anything. I was receiving.
Tired.
And that's the whole philosophy. We are receiving, and it was fun to experience that.
What would you say to the ones that are considering going to the one experience in Switzerland where you are collaborating with Guillermo?
That was my experience. And I would say that everyone who's going to attend the one experience is going to have will be very unique and their own, and different. And that's the beauty of it. We are experiencing the infinite, right? And so that is for every single person different and beautiful at the same time.
I have a little question before we go. I cannot help it. Did your husband change his mind a little bit meanwhile?
Totally. And took the seminar. He wanted to know where his wife always disappeared to. And then he said, this is fantastic. Energy is palpable. I could feel energy. And that was so new for him. And on the other side, also sort of mind-blowing. And he then, he does family medicine, like regular medicine. He then discovered osteopathy, craniosacral work, and he is now the doctor with the healing hands.
Thank you so much, Gabriele, for coming here, even though you don't like it.
I get him to like it.
Thank you, Gabriele.
Thank you, Cristina. It was a pleasure.